Welcome to Beta Academy's Pandemic Podcast, episode 13, featuring Coach Jeff Standfield, brown belt, Jiu-Jitsu extraordinaire, and Beta Academy coach. I am your host, Nakapan, and we also have your co-host, Luis Candelas, of course, always operating the IT in the background.
In the background.
He's not at the school, but he does have the background of the school. And to give you a couple quick updates before we get into talking about some jiu-jitsu, is the school at this point. We just finished week one of our first phase, phase two opening for us, which is stage 2 for Washington, D.C. At this point, we are having indoor classes, primarily Muay Thai classes and intro jiu-jitsu, intro Muay Thai classes inside. It's been, what we call a success, Luis?
I think so. I think so.
It's been good. We call this our pilot reopening. We're trying to figure out, which end is up at this moment with the current conditions out there. As far as, we put that video out that shows people how to get into the school. People have been following the guidelines, following the process. It's been very helpful. So thank you very much. I also want to quickly, before we get into some things, is also thank you for everybody, all the students, for continuing to support the school. We really appreciate that. Without your support, we couldn't continue to be here, but we are here. We're going strong. Right now, our classes are capped at 13 people per class because it is the rule of 5 students for every 1,000 square feet for a, we would say, fitness or gym facility. So we kind of fall under a lot of different categories. At this point, we are not able to do the partner training, but we're hoping that maybe by the end of next week, that we could move into some permanent paired partnered practice.
It really feels like we're the only ones following the rules. I'm just saying.
Quadruple P. Yeah. Are you seeing that in the people's social media? I mean, they're taking pictures close together.
Dude, they're not hiding it anymore. They're just all over Maryland, Virginia. People are training. I don't know.
Right.
Did I break up on you?
Cases are still low. How many cases? Yesterday? Where we at?
I don't know yesterday's number, but the day before was 26.
26. That's continuing to trend down. Lewis checks it every day. He doesn't believe in the news anymore.
I don't check articles. I just look at numbers, and let's talk about it. So last week, we averaged about 37 a day. The week before, we averaged about 58 a day. And this week, we're averaging somewhere around 31 a day.
So average
going
about
down.
30 infections, not even,
Right. These are just confirmed cases.
Confirmed cases.
Yeah.
So again, we're just trying to make sure that everybody understands that, everything is trending down. Things are looking up. So come in to train. If you want to train, remember, make sure to register online for the class, and we'll get you in the class. Last update about classes at the school is that we're having 2 days or 4 classes a week that we're going to move outdoors. We've been getting a lot of requests that we continue to train outside. So we'll do two days, do it Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. That's gonna be my class. We're gonna go outside, and whichever.
And it's noon class with Darnell.
Coach Darnell, Tuesday, Thursday?
Yep.
Okay, great. Yep. Now we were gonna have, before they change the rules on us all the time, so it's hard to know what's happening, but we had a full-on schedule. We had all this stuff going on. We had Coach Jeff coming back at 8 o'clock to do some paired jiu-jitsu, but at the last moment, we weren't able to do that. But in the meantime, to get your Coach Jeff fix, we do have him here today on the podcast. How you doing, Coach Jeff?
Well, Jeff is here on the podcast, ready for Freddie.
Now, you started martial arts, you'd say, a little later in your life. Can you tell us about how you got started?
Yeah, I think I was man, time flies so fast, doesn't it? I think I must have been about 45 when I came into Beta. When we were at the church up on Columbia Road, at the church. So I started with Muay Thai, and then got to a point where I got pretty decent at it. But starting something like Muay Thai at 46 years old, and then you get to the point where you can do some sparring. You start to realize that your hands just aren't as fast as you like for them to be to get them up into your face to stop somebody from punching you in the face, and it become the walking punching bag. So I said, well, I got to figure something out. So then I was watching some guys do jiu-jitsu, and I was like, man, that doesn't look like anything I want to do. And I tried it one day, and man, I forgot all about Muay Thai. Just been in jiu-jitsu ever since.
That's blasphemous. That's blasphemous. You can't say.
No,
I've heard this. Yeah, look at that, bro.
all right, man. But I don't know what it is about jiu-jitsu. It just I don't know. I think it's just more of a I've always been drawn to sports, man, that are more individual as opposed to team-based. You know, I guess it may be like it might be a personal thing where you just have a hard time depending on other people, and you know, you have to depend on other people to do their job, whatever their job may be. You know, if you break a football team down, whatever position this person plays is actually his actual actions are very simple, but he just has to. He has to execute them. His time has to be good. You know, everything has to be good, and you need him. Like if you're a running back and he's making a hole, you need him to do his job 100% in order to have that hole there for you. Right? What if he just not feeling good? What if he was out last night? Just whatever. And so no matter how hard you try to do whatever you want to do, it's still going to depend on what somebody else is doing. I just never could really get into that, but. Jiu-Jitsu, on the other hand, not to digress, but Jiu-Jitsu, on the other hand, man, if somebody gets you on the ground, they start choking you. No one's going to help you. You pretty much got yourself there, and you pretty much going to have to get yourself out. And you always have the option of either being stronger, bigger, blasting through there, or having some type of skill to get out of the situation, or you're going to have to concede and go back to the drawing board. Come back a little better and not let yourself be in that situation again, or you got something else to do. But the point is, you or the person has to do that. You have to make the conscious decision to do it. You have to do everything, commit yourself to, you have to be committed to that. If you're serious about not being in that particular situation anymore, you have to commit yourself to that. And you have to delve into yourself and it just have to do it yourself. And whether you're successful or not, it depends on you. But I don't even want to use the term successful because it's like, I don't want to be definite. It's whether you achieve your goal or not, because you got time. It doesn't have to be done today. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be better in an hour or 2 hours. It could take you 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But that just shows how much perseverance you have. That's what makes a black belt jiu-jitsu such an awesome dude. It's just a person that, at the minimum, at least like 8 years of serious perseverance and dedication to one particular thing, and then you have something to show for it. So that's my view. I don't want to.
We often see that mantra that a black belt is a white belt that never quits.
It never quits, exactly.
And then Renato Laurent just says a white belt is a white belt who just need to give up.
Hey, I was thinking about what you were saying is like, it's true. Like, because I feel the same thing where it's like, it's an individual thing. Jiu-Jitsu is like an individual sport thing. But then the cool thing about Jiu-Jitsu is you have a team. Like you still have that team aspect, but it's individual based results. Like the results you have are your work and your, technique and your everything. But I always like the fact that in Jiu-Jitsu, you still have like a team and, we could all dress the same, wear the same uniforms. And then,
it's very much the team in the DC Open, as Lewis is telling everybody, hey, are you going to do the absolute? Like,
That's right.
We need points. We need those points on the board.
You do your division for yourself. You do the absolute for your team. That's how you do it.
You gotta play hard for your team, man.
That's right.
I see it as a team too, but not. To me, the team thing is like an intervention. Like we drug addicts, you need an intervention. You go to alcoholic anonymous meeting or something, right? So you sit in a room with a whole bunch of other alcoholics, and you're all pumping yourselves up to go out there and not fall off the wagon. You know what I'm saying? That's the team aspect of jiu-jitsu. To me, that's the team aspect of jiu-jitsu because once I'm away from that meeting, now I have to be strong and not drink that drink or whatever the intervention is for, whatever the anonymous thing is.
For us, it seems to be a lot about food.
Definitely food. I know what that is. That's definitely for me too. But if I we need that team. We need the jiu-jitsu team man, I have gone to tournaments by myself, man, and won and lost. And man, you need if you lose, man, you need somebody who understands, you know, where you at to you know. Because like my wife and I, my first time I went to was a Naga tournament down in North Carolina, just my wife and I. We got down there. And my first match I lost. You know, and I go over to her and I was like, damn, I lost.
We've all been there, bro.
and she looks at me like, when did you go? You know, I'm like, I thought you were supposed to be here to, you know, we drove all the way down here. You supposed, okay, you know, I'm by myself. You know what I mean? So, man, the team is definitely 100%. No one wants to do a tournament by themselves. Nobody.
You know,
people do it. You know,
people do it, and I don't get it. Yeah, like people do it. They're always like, "Well, I'm gonna do a tournament, but I don't want to tell anyone." And it's like, why would you do that? Like,
I don't, man. I can't do it. I have done it. I have done it, and it's not something that, man. It just, you know, if you gotta do, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes, it's like I love to do that. One in California, the No Gi Open. I love to do that. You know, every year I always go, but. The first time I did that, I went by myself too. I was there by myself too. You know, that was pretty rough. I just left my wife in the room. I didn't even tell her I was going to do it. I just say, look, I'll be back in about 2 hours. You know, I didn't even want to deal with that. You know, but it's I guess if it's something that a tournament that you really like to do, then you know I can kind of see it. But that's the thing about training. You know, we train to do a tournament. You know, you train more or less. At least I know I do. I'm always thinking about my next upcoming tournament or how I lost the last one and how I can improve that. So that's always on my mind. So it seems to me, if I get to a tournament, and I always have that second guess. You know, I always feel like there was maybe 1 week I trained 3 days. I should have trained 4. Maybe I should have went some extra rows every day. It's just, you always second, at least I know, I always second guess myself. And I need that teammate, right? So that I can confide in about that, and then they can give me their opinion on it, and then we can move, you know, we can move.
Talk a little bit more about that. Like, let's talk about your training. You know, I'm 40 now, and so I'm trying to learn from you because you're always kind of trailblazing. Yeah, unless you go in a cryo chamber and freeze yourself. I think you're always going to be ahead of me, you know? So what's your training like, 40s and 50s? Like, tell us a little bit more about that, how you stay healthy. And then we can also talk about like how you prepare for tournament and how your body, how you treat your body to, you know, make sure you can get through that training.
Well, I don't treat my body as good as I should. You know, I know I haven't on this this quarantine. I took I think the first. What are we into now? This like we're into the 3rd month, aren't we?
Oh yeah,
4th month. Yeah. If you don't get the COVID-19, you get the COVID-20.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Wow. But yeah, so I would say the first 2 months I took a serious vacation and just ate what I wanted to eat, man. So my first advice is, as you age, man, that weight comes on fast. It's like I mean, you literally can stand on a scale, eat a piece of pizza, and watch it go. And that's how it just comes on so fast, and it goes off so slow. And you literally, I think, which is ironic, right? You would think that when you're younger, since your body uses the food as fuel so fast, you would think it'd be important to eat better younger than older. Right?
No, we're not that wise. We're not that wise.
It's more important to eat better older than younger because it literally translates into translates into not only physical performance but mental performance. If you don't eat, you know. But then again, as an older person, at that point, you should already know what foods you can't have, what foods you can't have. You pretty much have yourself a pretty decent diet, right? But for me, I know like bread is a killer for me, and fried food. I stay away from fried food. Even when I eat bad, I don't eat fried food very often. As much as I love my Korean fried chicken, you know, I might have that twice a year at the most, you know. So that's like my Achilles heel. So I mean, you know, whatever yours may be, you know, you have to kind of like find that and definitely eliminate that out of your diet. When you get older, man, you have to be careful. You have to monitor your body. You have to respect your body. There's things that you used to be able to do on Monday that you can't do on Friday. You know, recovery is everything. But if you're like I'm back into playing tennis now. Right? The first day I went out and I played tennis. Tennis is a lot of explosive movement and lateral movements, right? So the first day, the last 10 minutes of us just playing around, I fell. Because, you know, it was a lateral move. I just was going from one side to the other side. And then my shoes, you know, I didn't have the proper tennis. You know, when you play tennis, you have to have tennis shoes. They have more support on the sides than they do on the bottom, like say running shoes. Running shoes have support on the bottom. So, you know, when you go to make a lateral movement, your foot will roll over. And then I just fell. And you have to be careful of things like that. It's like you have to spend the money to buy the proper training gear, and you have to respect your body. Once you start to get tired, you know, if you're 45, if you plan to go out there in an hour, and you're really exhausted at 45 minutes, then you just have to stop, right? Because when your body gets tired as an older person, things just won't, you know, certain muscles just won't fire, you know. So then that's how you you know, get an injury. Whereas your maybe your ankle will be a little looser, your calf will be a little looser. You won't be up on your feet, you won't be up on your toes, you know, things of that nature. So once you start to recognize that stuff, you know, then you can time the length of your workouts. Breaks become very important, you know. A lot of people, like my brother, he's older than, he's like 6 years older than me. But he's always played tennis. You know? So, you know, I got away from it, you know, so now I'm coming back. He can go for 3 hours straight. I'm just getting back, man. I give you a strong 30 minutes, you know, and then we got to, you know, move on to something else, you know. So I break it up by, you know, conversate, you know, the, hey, man, you know, what do you think about this, you know, what that, you know, whatever, right? He gets frustrated. He's like, you know, I'm not going to let you talk, so we're not working out, you know. So, you know, we have to go through that, but that's my pace. You know, people, you have to get your pace, and you have to stick with it. Because once you get off your pace, then you're going to get injured. It's better to be the slow guy out there every day than be the guy on the couch with a cast on, hoping that this thing, because, you know, once you get older, man, stuff, it don't heal the same. You know, it's like, if you get an injury, something, you know, that's why I refuse to get my knee operated on and stuff like that, man. You know, it's like I do it when I have to do it. But once it starts to heal up, it's not going to be the same. I don't care what they tell you. It's just not. You know, you only got one body. You got to respect it.
Maybe part of that of playing tennis you having difficulty with is that if you stay away from it for so long, you kind of lose the technique and the efficiency in the movement. Maybe like in jiu-jitsu, because if you brought your brother into jiu-jitsu, you better believe that he's gonna get real tired real fast.
Oh yeah, he don't want no parts of that. But you know what? It's interesting. Talking about martial arts again and training. Now I played tennis seriously up until I was about maybe 19, right? So I was very good. You know, I ranked in C, you know that. So you know, went in the Navy, blah blah blah. I got away from tennis, and I came back maybe twice. Years later, I come back twice. And each time, I was just terrible. You know. This last time I came back, it was like I never left, you know, because, you know, the motions, everything's literally the same, right? So, you know, like when I teach jiu-jitsu, you know, I don't focus so much on, if I teach a move, I don't focus so much on, like, I call it the twister, the twister method. Where, you know, you put your right foot here and your left foot there and your right hand there. I don't focus so much on that as the more do I focus on the why. You know, you need to do this here, so you have this much leverage. You need to activate these muscles, so you're not depending on one muscle, that we have a series of muscles. You won't burn yourself out as fast, you know. I feel that when people understand the concept of why they're going from point A to point B, then they can understand the concept of the actual, the hand goes here, the leg goes there. So same with tennis is like you're hitting the ball and you shouldn't feel the ball. Once you hit the ball, you shouldn't feel it. You should just feel like you're just going straight through. So my mechanics were perfect, literally perfect, like because they're the same. They're the same as swinging the ball, the same as throwing a hook or throwing a jab. Everything is the exact same. We're not just using one muscle. We're using a series of muscles. Everything comes from the bottom, from the one leg comes up, and it goes to the other leg. You shift away from one leg to the other leg, blah blah blah. So I say all that to say, martial arts is once you think about it, is all those motions are the basis for just about every sport that you can play. If you could pretty much, people talk about cross training, I do this particular sport, sports are seasonal, they look for something to do, off season, and we could just say, hey man, you should just do some Muay Thai, until something starts back up again. And it's the same, it's this, they'll be in the same shape, they'll be, all those muscles that are firing will be firing the same, everything will be just like you never left. So you know what, maybe I should market that.
Well, I always tell people in class, and now I'm teaching a lot of Muay Thai, is that, you think about any sport that you do, and it's all the same, like bent legs, feet are engaged on the floor or on the mat or on the street or whatever it is, and you're able to, it's like, we call it like the bent knee athletic stance. It's everything. Like you think Murillo would come by, he's like, is Steph Curry shooting baskets with like straight knees and heels on the floor, like right. He's moving like that. Like people have to be relaxed. You have to keep knees engaged, legs engaged in the floor. So yeah, I mean, I think that being able to do one thing definitely translates to other areas into athleticism. Now, when pre-COVID, you were training, you pretty much training every day, right?
I had slowed down slightly. What I was doing was because recovery is everything, and that's the other thing about being older is you feel you can start to feel the recovery is not, you're not recovering enough. Right? So what I would do, I was teaching Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, and then I would definitely take Sunday off. I would devote Sunday to the family, and then I would come in and do some no-gi. The illustrious Coach Lewis's no-gi Saturday morning.
Shout out Coach Lewis, 9 a.m. no-gi. It will be back.
I think he's paying them people. Lewis must be giving people, like, you come to Saturday class, you get a free month tuition. Because I don't know how he gets so many people.
They're drug addicts, bro. They're drug addicts, bro. What you want me to say? They're addicted to it.
So Saturday morning would be, but even when I come to Lewis class, I would work out in the morning and then come in right about the time they start rolling. Then I would roll maybe like, I try to get as many rolls as I can, but not with people, like usually people out smaller than me or something like that. But we're just working on the motions or specific groups. And then during the week, it depends on who come in, because that's the thing. It's hard with training, right? Training and teaching. You want to get some training in, you want to get your rest in. Some days you want to come in, you want to get get some hard rolls. Some days you want to get some not so hard rolls. So
some days John Hamlet comes in the morning.
That's what I'm about to say.
I heard about this.
John Hamlet come in. It's like John Hamlet come in on your soft day. It's like, oh my God.
I heard wasn't there a title fight down there scheduled coming up soon? Something like that.
It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be. They got the king of the morning, man. But Lucius is the interim king of the morning. But he got him a job in Seattle now, so he's out on the West Coast.
No, he moved.
Yeah, you didn't know?
What?
Yeah, Lucius is not. He said he'll be back in probably a couple of years, but yeah, he's out.
What? I'm gonna message him.
I know he was moving.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, he's out in Seattle, and now you talking about my training partner, man. That was my ultra heavy guy. I need that guy.
Oh man.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna have to maybe I have to fatten up John Hamlet.
Me and Lucius got promoted together. He got his blue belt and I got my purple belt together.
Wow. I'm way behind on that one.
Oh,
really get him?
Oh, he was ducking that purple belt. He was determined. He was determined to not get that purple belt. I told him, I said, hey man, you need to come to these evening classes, man. No, I don't want to go.
Way overdue. I'm sad now that he's gone. I didn't know he was gone. But yeah, anyway, like you guys were, you know, you're like over what? You're like 240, 230.
Man, I wish I'm getting back to 240. Yeah, I think yeah, about 240. He's probably around 260, 65, something like that. But yeah, he was like definitely my training partner. You know, I like to roll with him because he's gonna definitely move the way my competitors will move, and he's younger and he's so much stronger, a lot more explosive. You know, sometimes I think he's a little too nice to me, but I definitely gonna miss that guy. You know what I like about a guy like Lucius is because whenever anybody comes to my class, I would say, you know, either this will or this won't work on Lucius, you know, because it's like sometimes you just to get to a point where a person is too big, you know, and it's not like it won't work, but it's just that having somebody like that in the background is excellent to show why leverage becomes so important. You know, it's always going to be somebody bigger. It's always going to be somebody stronger. But these moves that we do, if you use the right leverage, it's like that person's not even there. You can pretty much do whatever.
So to go back to the training, so you're training, you said about 5 days a week, but Sunday's your day off. You do about like what, hour and a half of training. And then you also supplement with some weights, because I know in the weight room, there's a 70-pound kettlebell that has your name on it. I can't even pick it up.
70 pounds? No, man, my kettlebell's 120.
Is that what that is? Jeez.
That's mine. I got to come get it.
That's out of control, dog. That is out of control.
My back just looking at it, dude.
I got to come get my kettlebell. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to stay focused this time because you know I like to ramble. But so I train 6 days a week. So let's say Monday and Wednesday, which are the gi days, then Tuesday and Thursday, which are the no gi days. So whether I get a hard roll or a soft roll, I just leave that up to whoever's there. So it doesn't matter, right? But each day is an hour and a half. Then Friday is just all drilling. Right? Now on the no gi days, which would be Tuesday and Thursday, those are the days that I try to, after class, I try to stay and lift, do my little kettlebell routine. Now every day, every morning, Monday through Thursday, either before or after, I do 100 kettlebell swings, right? with the 60, with the 65.
You're a beast.
Stop it. Not all one time though. Just you know, maybe I break it up 425 or something like that. Right? And then so that's just consistent. Then like I said, Tuesday and Thursday, I have my actual where I go through some type of kettlebell routine. Then Friday, like I said, we do drilling. I might do a little swing of some of the kettlebell, but not too much. Then Saturday I do Lewis class. Now Saturday morning is when I do my heavy weightlifting, like say deadlifts or squats or things like that. I do those once a week, Saturday. Then like I said, Sunday I don't do anything. I used to work out a lot more often. I used to take if I taught in the morning, I would go to the 10:30 class, stay for 10:30 class in the afternoon, later in the morning, and things like that. But what I've since discovered is, like I said in the beginning, recovery is everything, right? And even though you feel like you can do something, there's just times you just shouldn't do it. And because I was having really bad issues with my hip, and no one could find what was wrong with it or anything, to the point where I couldn't walk my dog.
Was it your psoas? Have you heard of the psoas?
The psoas, what's that?
Oh, okay, I'll tell you about that later. So there's this injury that I kept having with my hip, and it was it's the psoas muscle, which is like this little muscle that connects the upper body to the lower body. And you know how jiu-jitsu,
it's in the front of the back.
So it starts in the front, like on the highest part of your leg, and then it goes to the side, and then it goes to your lower back. It's a weird looking thing.
No, this is like on the inside, like in the socket. I can feel it kind of like in the socket or something. Right? But now, and it just progressively got worse and worse and worse. I could do jiu-jitsu, no problem. Once I got on the mat, I'm fine, right? But now once, I can't stand up, I couldn't stand up for a long period of time. So now, and I couldn't walk my dog. I couldn't walk a long distance. Now, well, when I say a long distance, I couldn't walk down the block. But I had to get to the end of the corner. I had to get to the end of the block. I had to stop and lean on the fence until it's just painful. Then once we got this COVID thing, and I had to stay in the house, man, it's all gone.
Yeah.
It's like I got a brand new body. My knees not bothering me anymore, nothing. And so it's like, oh, okay. So I wasn't getting enough sleep. See, because I work in the evening, so I don't get off till 10:30. Then I'm back on the mat, like 5:30. I'm sorry, 6:30. The class is at 7. Right?
Yeah.
It's been so long. I don't even remember what time my own class started. yeah. So I'm back. I'm back on the mat at 6:30. So and a couple of times I even rode my bike in the morning, so I had to get up a little earlier for that. But man, we gotta respect our sleep, man.
Yeah.
You gotta respect our sleep, man. You gotta get that 8 hours, dude. You got to get 8 hours.
Hey, just wait till you get back on the mat. I bet you all those injuries are gonna somehow come right back.
That's everybody has said that though. Like after 2 or 3 months of being in the quarantine, like their bodies feel amazing.
Yeah.
My mind is going crazy, but my body feels like, hey, my back's feeling much better.
Exactly.
I think all of us suffer from lower back pain, from either from training or just like overuse.
Yep.
We're gonna have to figure out how to improve our recovery regimen.
We need to get a chiropractor just to be there every day. Right when we walk in, he just cracks us up, and then we go on our.
You just need a good, strong 8 hours of sleep on a regular basis. And if you're not getting 8 hours of sleep, like you gotta take a nap in the afternoon, man. You gotta get a nap. You gotta get that sleep, man. I'm telling you, sleep it's a beautiful thing. You got to have.
I also see, it's been a lot of different things. We've had a lot of different. I guess shared a lot of different things. One thing we shared was kombucha. Used to make kombucha. Yeah, we call it friendship tea because you could.
Friendship tea.
You gave me the SCOBY. You were like, here you go, and you can make your own.
Did you ever make it?
I did. I did it for 2 months. I had this jellyfish thing growing in my.
Yeah.
I bought this gigantic tub thing.
Making tea for you.
Yeah, I put it in there, right? And then I put the sugar in there, and I made the black tea. I made like black tea, then I made green tea, then I made a mix of it, just to kind of try to figure out my flavors and add some like flavoring. But this thing was just growing like huge.
Yeah, it does get big. You got to peel off of it.
Yeah, right. I mean,
give them to somebody. See, you have to pay it for it and give it to somebody else.
That's right. I've been trying to give it away. Like, you want the SCOBY? Like, no. And it kind of smelled weird sometimes. Like one time, one of my batches I didn't take out early enough, and it just made everything like vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
It overdid it. You got to give it like 12 to 14 days.
Right.
You got to harvest this thing.
Right.
But yeah. So like that was one of my fondest memories. Here, take this thing. It took me like 2 months to give you back that little jar you gave me. It was this small.
I know. I think man, things grow, man. I miss doing that. I still got all my stuff, but it got to a point where, like you said, if you don't catch it, and I just got busy, man, because I was making big batches of it because my kids were drinking it, but yeah, left, and it was just my wife and I, and this stuff was making fast so I can keep up with it. And I couldn't give it away enough, man. And I was actually scared to give it to people because you're kind of playing with botulism a little bit there. You know what I mean? So it's like you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
It's all right. We assume the risk. When we come in the morning, I wonder what flavors you were having. Like you had like, I got apple, I got this and that. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever, man. Because we were paying $4 for that stuff at the store.
I know, man. It's so expensive, man. It's so expensive.
Lewis is not down with the kombucha. He's not drinking that stuff.
I'm sorry, guys. Oh, I think we lost Jeff. We lost him. And I was going to talk about how much I hated kombucha. But, I think he's going to be able to jump back on.
Yeah, we'll give him a second.
Oh, that was such a bummer.
Yeah.
And we had some stuff. Yeah, we had some stuff to talk about online. Allegro wanted to know what he eats after tournaments.
Yeah. And also, I was going to ask him about the green juice. That's where I was leading up to.
Oh, the green juice. That's right.
Green juice all the time. See, he's got in a big ass jar. And
I remember.
Carries it with him still.
He used to come in every morning with that big old cooler. It was like a cooler, and he would just hand down all these jars.
Yeah.
All right, let me see.
I
I'm
never,
gonna.
never tried the green juice. It looked like he was enjoying it though. I don't know if it was sweet, savory, or what.
I
But
tried it. It
you
wasn't. Yeah, he used to hook me up with that. He put a lot of garlic in it. Like garlic was his
garlic.
thing, dude. It was like spicy when you drank it.
I imagine it was like someone had mowed a lawn in their mouth or something.
But he would. But it was very healthy stuff, and he would share it with everybody. Man, it's super cool. I'm gonna text him. Maybe we can get him back on. Hey, but classes have been going pretty good this week.
Yeah, yep. I've been enjoying them, being in there. We got a lot of different skill levels that come into Muay Thai. So all you Jiu-Jitsu people, if they're talking a lot about Jiu-Jitsu, you should come to do the Muay Thai class. I got people that have done one class. I got people that have done 100 classes, in terms of like how much training they've had previously. So it can be for everybody. I'm a firm believer in learning all aspects of martial art. I don't see styles anymore. I see everything as martial art, so finding the right tool for the right situation. Grappling is awesome. We love doing it, and it's a lot of fun. Striking also gives you a different aspect, also a different type of cardio that you're dealing with. I think a lot of people have, like I got Wesley now, Wesley.
Yeah, dude, there's a bunch of people that are taking Muay Thai now.
He's been coming in regularly, came in 3 days last week.
He's getting ready for the streets, bro. He always tells me that. He's like, bro, it's for the streets.
It's looking good, man. He's primarily a jiu-jitsu person that goes to Coach Jeff's class and my class in the evening times when he can make it. So it's great to see him do some striking. You can definitely see that, how the two work together. And that's the real reason why we have so many programs at the school. It's to make sure that we learn all aspects of martial art. Now, I really like to focus more on weapons too. So if things work out,
people have asked about that.
We could have a weapons class, maybe, next Friday. I think it's July 4th weekend, but maybe some Fridays that we could plan to have that class.
You know what the problem is, right?
What's that?
You're not far apart enough.
It's not that. I mean, like,
I'm sorry.
It's almost
Look, man.
How about when we get the
I want you
training?
I'm like the police, all right? When it comes to the corona guidelines.
Look at all these other schools, what they're doing. We're keeping everybody safe.
I know.
All the time. God.
I feel terrible about it too, because they're posting it online.
You're doing the right thing.
Yeah, so we just gotta. The problem is that the guidelines in DC say people got to be 10 feet apart. That's always the hardest thing to deal with.
It's extremely, I would say, look, it's the opposite now, conservative, right, in their way that they want to approach this.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
We'll see. Right now, like, I got my own ideas about what's happening in the world. Of course, I will not try to share them as much, but, like, how are they going to sell you a vaccine if there's not a second or third or fourth wave?
Hey, I heard that Trump doesn't want to give funding for testing anymore. So it's like
sites.
Huh?
He's shutting down the federal sites.
Okay, but remember, I don't read articles anymore. But when I heard that, I was like, so we're just not gonna test people anymore and just be like,
that's how the cases get lower.
Oh, that's terrible. I can't believe that. He's just like, nah, we just won't do it. It's like, what?
But yeah, you said we were asking ourselves, like, we have this meeting every Monday. All the instructors sit there trying to do our best to socially distance. But you're saying that, did you know anybody? What's going on, Coach Jeff?
Man, I got excited when you started talking about that scope.
Oh, we're going to go back there. But wait, you were going to say something?
I was saying, who do we know that has gotten the disease? I'm not saying it's not a real thing. I'm saying your mom got it.
My mom got it in Arizona. Oh, well, hold on. So my sister got it, right? And my sister lives with my mom. So my sister got it, and she tells me, and I'm like, oh, damn, because you live with mom. And she's like, yeah, I think mom gave it to me. I was like, what? And I guess the week prior, my mom was sick, but my mom's a beast, bro. Like, she's like.
She recovered from breast cancer.
Breast cancer, yeah. She's old. She's like diabetic. She got all these things. And from what I hear, she got it. She was like, didn't even go to the doctor or anything. She was like totally chilling. She said she felt a little sick, but like it wasn't anything. And I guess she gave it to my sister. Now, so my sister got the test, and then they told her she had it. So, she was sick, but not like crazy. And then my mom was like, yo, since she has it, I probably have it. And they were like, don't even come in. Just pretend that you have it and then just stay home. So that means she doesn't count as a confirmed case.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't.
So what the hell kind of numbers are we dealing with here?
Man,
But
we don't know.
Because you know what?
it's
Talking about
crazy.
that, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? But
Oh, here we go. Here we
I'm gonna
go.
tell you,
That's
man.
how all conspiracies start, you know.
I know, right? But I think this has already been here. This whole COVID.
Yeah.
It's been floating around, right? Because for the past, remember when I went to the Masters World and I didn't compete, I got sick, and I know the moment I got it was at Dulles Airport. It was terrible, man. And I mean, I had this fever, I had everything. It was just terrible. And
December.
it was August.
August. Oh, shit.
August in Vegas, and if you ever been to Vegas, it's hot in Vegas. Man, I was cold. I couldn't get warm. I went to the whatever you call them, little emergency care places. Anyway, make a long story short, the point I'm making is they don't know what you have, and they don't know what to give you. They try to give you something to deal with the symptom, but they don't know, right? Then some months later, one of my neighbors got sick. And he went through the whole lung thing. Same thing. Nobody knows what it is, So, and there's been a couple other people that I could say the same thing about. And now we got COVID-19, And I just kind of feel like whatever that thing's been going around, everybody's been getting it back and forth. Maybe this is the year that just more people get it more than normal, But I don't know. But I know this has already been around. Well, I'm curious to know if anyone who's done jiu-jitsu for more than 4 years on a regular basis, if they get it, because we rolling on the mat so many viruses, man.
Every jiu-jitsu person in America has gotten it already.
Exactly. And I wonder if we
every single one of us,
some type of super antibodies.
A firm believer that our immune systems are stronger. Not to say that you can go and get it and be indestructible. I'm saying that we actually have more close contact with people than most people in society, I would say.
I know. I have to agree with that. That's what I'm kind of curious if anyone, if anyone that like a regular jiu-jitsu person would get sick enough to, because I mean we swim in this stuff all day, just long periods of time, man. I got sick one time at the church when I first started doing jiu-jitsu. It's probably why I don't wear a mouthpiece, man. I was so into whatever the match was.
I don't do it either.
the mouthpiece fell out of my mouth onto the mat, right? And if you ever been to I don't know if you've ever been to church, Louis, but it was terrible. It was when it get hot, that mat like a swimming pool, Man, but I was so into my mat, I picked that mouthpiece up and threw it right back in my mouth. Dude, within about 2 hours, man, I had a fever, man. I had to go to the hospital. About 3 days later, I had to go to the hospital. This fever wouldn't break, man. And once again, they test me there. They this is wrong with you. That's wrong with you. Blah blah blah. But we don't know what you have. You know what? That doctor gave me a prescription for codeine. And sent me home, man. And I just left for like 2 days, and then I woke up the third day. I was fine, But I'm saying whatever this is, it goes around. No one knows what it is, That's why they keep coming out with, well, you should do this, you don't do that. But they don't know what it is. They can't give you any antibiotics because that doesn't work anymore. They don't. The antibiotics don't work on whatever this is anymore. So now you just gotta tough it out. To make a long story short, you got to tough it out.
It's going to be with us, I think, moving forward. It's not going to be eradicated in any way, just like the flu has not been eradicated. The cold hasn't been eradicated. It's going to be in our community, and it's just a matter of, I guess, us getting more resistant to it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of, there are vulnerable people, but are those people not vulnerable to the flu and to these other things that are also out there? That doesn't mean that we should all just stop what we're doing and, isolate ourselves, not be around other people and wear masks all the time. I don't know. I just know we're trying to, right now it's out of social responsibility or even guilt to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do. But really, it's social, we're responsible for our community. We want to make sure that we're safe. So we're doing everything we can. But we just also want to know that all this information that we're hearing and the things that the government are doing actually makes sense.
Right.
Right now, it's not really making a whole lot of sense. Let's take it back because Allegra was asking about like what you eat after a tournament, and we were getting to that because I was getting to the point where we're talking about all the different things you're drinking, SCOBY drinks, the green juice that you make that tastes like somebody, put it in the mouth.
It's good. My orange juice, my orange juice / pineapple chunk / kale drink is awesome. Yeah. I just had one of those. You know what? After I played tennis this morning, I just had one. Today. Awesome. I feel like a new man.
And I remember we went out to the tournament. We did a no-gi Worlds year before last. You took silver medal in the absolute.
Yes.
Submitted 2 or 3 people going up to it. It was awesome.
Yes.
As a purple belt. And then after that, I took you out to some sushi, which you hadn't eaten before. Not your favorite, but we learned that there's things that you can eat there that are delicious.
I'm just not with raw food, man.
We ordered, there was cooked sushi, there was raw sushi. We ordered this thing, a sushi boat. It was gigantic. It had like 120 sushi pieces, and it was you, me, and Sam, who won the juvenile blue belt that year.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was our responsibility to finish.
Sam was a killer.
Yeah, that we over-ordered. So started to eat all that. And then we finished it off with 3 or 4 donuts.
That's my favorite part of the meal.
Donuts, baby.
That's my favorite part of the meal right there.
After we staggered out of that sushi restaurant, we were like, all right, how can we injure our health more right now? Oh,
I know, right?
Right across the street, there's a gigantic donut sign.
I know.
Let's go over there.
Calling you. They should have put a megaphone on that thing.
You're like, give me a dozen donuts.
You know what? This last year, I went to California. You know what I did? Now I always got to make a stop at Del Taco. That's you got it. There's no way you're gonna go to California and not get Del Taco. It's foolishness to go out there and not get it. So I got to give that Del Taco disclaimer. But you know what I did this time was and I'm going to try to make this a regular when I go out of town to compete. I went over to Target, man. I bought a bunch of the big salad mix, and I got just some stuff to make a salad. Go in your refrigerator because you don't have no way to really cook in your room, and some grilled chicken. And I just had that like 3 times a day, all the way up until my match. Because since I was a brown belt this last year, I went last. So the first couple of years, I could get my match out of the way. Then I had the next few days to pretty much do what I wanted to do, but then I went last. So now that's my new thing is now just sit there and eat kale salad with grilled chicken, some fruit, and drink nothing but water. No sugary mixed, no flavored drinks anyway, in any way, shape, or form. And I was very energetic for my match.
Did you go nuts after your match?
No, just Del Taco, man. Del Taco is right down the street from the hotel, right there. I guess I did because I did get like 10 tacos. Punish them tacos, man. It was like they was going in my mouth like little chiclets.
I would love to be consistent, like I always tell myself every tournament, okay, like now I'm going to eat responsibly still. I'm going to keep this going on. But because I've been so good for the last like 3, 4, 5 weeks going out to it, I always end up giving either it's a meal to drown my sorrows or a meal to celebrate the victory. Either way, it's going to be high calorie, not so good for me. But yeah, I remember like the one time I competed in the Kasai Pro and I got down to 167. So I lost like 23 pounds.
Wow.
And like
crazy.
Yeah, but I did the whole water cut because I had a day before. And then I should have done better, but I had 24 hours. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get really focused on drinking water. But then I went to I ate like 3 or 4 different meals and I was back to like 186 before the match.
Right before the match?
Right before the match. That was not good for me, man. I was just like, oh, God, I feel awful. Be consistent with it, but you know, that's
Wow.
how it goes sometimes.
That's a big swing.
Yeah, it's not. I don't recommend anybody do that. But
Yeah, I haven't done the way before or the day before weigh-ins in a long time because I only do the DC Open now, which is mat side weigh-in. So the last time I had to do the weigh-in, like I think US Grappling, because they used to do it I think at 9 a.m. or the night before, and I think that was the last time I ever had to like lose weight and then weigh in and then I could eat and then compete. I don't even remember that anymore.
yeah, it's the last time I fought MMA in 2010. That was like the fight before last. I remember I cut down to 170 for that. And that was the times that I had to cut down to 170, but then I did it all wrong because I was drinking. I ate like pasta afterward. I felt like ass,
Ooh.
you know. So this time I was trying to, because your job, if you got the day before weight cut, is you got to drink water. Like you got to drink a liter of water every hour to get back to the 9 liters of water that you lost for this, extreme water cut that you did.
Wow.
Now it's like standard for all these fighters,
Terrible.
I don't like
Terrible.
it making a weight loss tournament. I think we should just weigh in before. I think jiu-jitsu should give us more time. The IBJJF gives us 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, depending. Or you got to show up sometimes it's like 4 hours before. But,
Wow.
it's tough, right? It's like kind of inconsistent. You kind of got to see. And,
Y'all got to come to the ultra heavy class, man. We just laugh at the scale.
I think, you know what? I was thinking like Lucas Leite. He doesn't care. He's always in there heavyweight no matter what. He can eat whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's true.
Man, just get to a point where you can just like, one thing about a heavier guy is the less he can do. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's like, if you go against a heavier person, man, it's like a lot of things that person your size, they're just not going to be able to do. He's not going to be able to do. And if they can do it, they ain't going to do it for long, We always say. I was talking to this one guy. I actually competed against him my first year out there, but big Chris Hubert, that dude's humongous. And we were just sitting there on the sideline watching the match one day. We were like, all the boys down to is just don't go on the ground. If whoever goes down first, unless you got a serious ultra heavy bottom game, which is kind of hard to do against another ultra heavy guy. You just don't want to be the guy that want to bottom. So I mean, like the heavier the guys get, the less they can do. So it's just, hey man, go ahead, be the light guy in the heavy class.
Yeah, unless for Bushesha, right? I think is he ultra heavy? No, he's like super.
Yeah, you might have a problem with, there's always going to be a guy like that somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So there's always going to be some phenomenal person who's like gigantic. I watched one of his matches, man. I was like, man, that dude's just ridiculous. Him and that other guy, Cyborg's like that too.
Yep.
So he's got a humongous, man. And they just do like little man jiu-jitsu. It's like, but they probably had to develop that from little guys beating them up, quite honestly.
Cyborg? You talking about Cyborg in Miami, right?
Yeah.
His story is he came here as a blue belt, and he says a lot of what he learned was self-taught. Self-taught since blue belt.
He came from Brazil as a blue belt.
Yeah.
I thought he came as a black belt.
No, he came from Brazil as a blue belt, and then
he used to hang with Popovich.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Popovich was probably his mentor.
Is that who it was? But yeah, he says that.
I got a video, a Popovich video, very old video. Don't let waste your money on it. But anyway, I think it was like Nogi, something like that. But what's his name? Cyborg's in there with him. I think that's it. Yeah.
And I will say, as I'm a lightweight when I compete, and I do the absolute all the time, training at Beta has prepared me for dealing with the absolute division. So for all those people that say, small guys can't do it, and they're bigger, and granted, but technique's always gonna win.
Always gonna win.
You're like a medium heavy now, though.
Now, yeah, I'd say medium heavy, but
heavyweight territory.
I remember. Speaking of post-tournament meals, me and Jeff went to the Nogi Pans when we were blue belts.
Oh yeah.
and I remember, man, Jeff taught me so much, and he don't even know. When we were going there, I was in there. I can't remember. I think I brought a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something, and then Jeff's like, "Hey, you see that cooler right there? Just open that shit up, grab a drink out of there." And I think he had green juice. and I can't remember. You had like fruit and nuts, and you had everything. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, you gotta be ready, man.
Ever since then, like every tournament we do, I'm always like prepared with the cubby and all that stuff. But I remember that green juice because you were heavy on the garlic.
You know what? I had garlic one this morning too.
You did? So I remember I was telling Nat, because we were talking about the kombucha and the green tea they used to bring in for everybody. You used to go crazy on the garlic. I remember you and O'Keefe.
Not garlic. What's that?
Ginger.
Ginger.
Yeah. Ginger, that's what it was. You used to go
I can't help it, man. And you know that ginger, you give it that bite though. Let you know you in there.
That's what it was, yeah.
But you know why? You know why I do that, man? Is because, well, I'm saying with the whole cooler thing or whatever, is because in any type of competition, man, no matter what your sport is, when it's time to compete, it's time to compete, you know. And all you want to think about is the competition, right? You know, like guys like me, you now Nakapan, you know, you're a man, you're a husband, you're a father. You got a career, you got so much, you know. All I ask is just let me have this 2 hours where I don't have to worry about all that other stuff and just focus on this thing. And the last thing I need to be thinking about is, man, I sure am hungry. I sure wish I would have had some nuts. You know what I'm saying? or at least just give me something to drink or whatever. You know, I don't like things like that to be on my mind, so I try to check all those boxes before I get there. So now once I'm on the mat, I can just think about this person that I have to deal with for this, 8 minutes, you know, and you know, hopefully Nakapan won't see me get choked out. Yeah, but I try to get that stuff off I try to stop a problem before there is a problem.
Yep. You know? I learned from Jeff, dog.
Now to switch gears real quick, you know, you work for Metro. So anything, I know, and it's not official capacity, you're telling us anything. I'm just curious, like how's Metro doing? How are we doing with this pandemic situation? How are people going to be coming in there? Social distancing, like what's the deal? You know, they don't want you to leave there because you seem to know everything about what's going on. So I always ask you, like, what's happening over there?
I try to stay in the flow, you know, but it's, you know, it's like any place else in DC. You got to have your mask on. I don't take the train. I'm like my area is from Fort Totten to Glenmont, and also they gave me from Greenbelt down to Convention Center, which that station is closed. So when I go in between different stations, man, I drive my car. I don't.
Oh, you don't even take the Metro.
I don't take the Metro. you know what? I mean, if you're gonna get sick, man, that's where it's gonna happen. If you're gonna, I would say that place is worse. I would rather come in and do jiu-jitsu and not take a shower or whatever, and you know, and then ride that train.
Damn.
I can just tell you, because you know, it's not you, it's the person that came before you, and you don't even know who that is or what kind of habits they have, and I can guarantee you that person has some terrible habits, man. I just seen people do some things, man. It's like, oh, okay. Every time I've ever gotten sick, usually the majority of time I've ever gotten sick is in the transit situation, either at Metro or at the airport. You know, touching something and then touching my face. You know,
definitely airport. Well, are they doing stepping up any cleaning in the trains or the?
Yeah, they're doing a lot of cleaning. They actually have a lot of contractors work there now. When the train gets to the end station, you know, they go on. They got all these people. They go on the train. They clean them, and then you know, it leaves the station or whatever. So they doing a lot of that, which is fine. But I'm still not getting on it, you know, because I mean, it's like, okay, well, it's clean at this station, but now what about the next station when the guy gets on sneezing and coughing and, you know, he don't have no napkin or handkerchief and he just puts his hand on the little pole that you got to hold on to, and you come in and get behind him and you put your hand on the pole because the train takes off. You got to hold something, you know, and you grab the pole, you know. Now your ear itch, so you scratch your ear, you know. Next thing you know, you got a fever, you know, 2 days later.
I'm never taking the train again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wait, are they cleaning like? I mean, usually they would just clean it once a day. Now they're cleaning like what? Like
They clean it every day. Clean it every time that train comes back. They clean it. So every what would it be like? It take an hour, basically, to get from one end to the other. So that every hour the train gets clean. But then it's like, okay, so let's say the train is clean, right? What about the escalator? That little black rail? Oh man, every time I see that thing, I cringe. You know what? I was running down the stairs one time because I had to catch the train down there, and I was running down the stairs and I kind of lost my balance a little bit, so I grabbed the rail. And like as soon as I grabbed the rail, you know how like your hand grabs something and then it gets strong to hold you, right? As soon as I felt my muscles tighten up on that rail, all these alarms went off in my brain, like, oh my God, let go, DEFCON 1, DEFCON 1, right when I got to the next station, man, I washed my hands, man. But this is before we even had this outbreak, because I just never I just seen people do things, man.
What's the grossest thing you ever seen on the metro?
Man, what is this podcast rated?
I'll stop you.
What is this podcast rated? You know,
I can always edit it for YouTube.
Give me top three things.
I saw the number one worst thing. I saw a guy use the bathroom. All of them involve people using the bathroom.
Oh.
But I saw a guy, the worst situation was I saw a guy take a dump at the end of the platform. It was kind of like, it was dark, but it wasn't that dark. But he was like at the end of the platform where no one really is on the side. So I saw him take a dump there, right? But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the dude stands up, pulls this.
What do you mean he took a dump? Like he was like planning this out and like, man, I can't go outside. And he was just like,
man, this dude looked like he do that all the time. He didn't look like it was somebody like, oh, I ate something bad. This is an emergency. I can't control myself. He looked like this is the goodest spot in Sydney. That's how he looked to me. You know what I mean? He looked like he was very well versed in pulling his pants down at the end of the platform and using the bathroom. But like I said, that wasn't the worst part. So now he pulls his pants up. Right? I'm watching this thing and he pulls his pants up. The train comes in. You know how the train comes in and the operator leans out the door to look back to make sure that so and that's we're at that end. So the lady opens the door. It's dark. Opens the door and she leans. The window. Sorry, she leans back to look. So this guy comes out of the doctor's holding his hand up like he wanted to give her a high five. So the lady didn't see him right at first. When she saw him, she was surprised. He ducks her head back into the window, slams it closed, right? But of course, the doors are automated, so the doors are open. So the guy gets on the train, the doors close, and the train takes off. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this guy's going down the line, touching everything in that car. You know what I'm saying? He get off in the next. He done affected that train. This is before the COVID thing. So whatever he's got, he done affected that whole car with himself, right? And then he gets off at the next station. Now you get on the train 2 stations later. The car is like looking normal, look like normal people on there. You just touching up on everything, putting your finger in your ear, your nose, everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just you don't know what was happening before that. I'm just thinking like, oh my God, man, I drive everywhere I go, man. They tell me to go to the next station. I get my car started up. I go to the next station, and I get out of the car. They just have to wait. They say, hey man, what's taking so long? Hey, look, I'm not getting on that train.
Wow, damn.
So we had of course, there's somebody in charge of cleaning up all the feces that are left on the platform.
Yeah, well, there's a guy. Each station has a what you call the cleaner person. I mean, he used to that.
Like that happens regularly.
Man, dude, another thing I don't do is I don't get on the elevator. I don't get on the elevators, man. I cannot.
Oh, that elevator, right? Okay.
Oh man, it seemed like people have a problem, man. I get the impression, man, that people get on that elevator and just immediately have to pee. They just have to. It's like, I just got to do it. It's this elevator, pee. Because every elevator I've ever been on smells like pee. I don't understand that. There's a cleaning guy right there. I know he cleans this thing. Why does it smell like that now? No matter what time of the day. First thing in the morning, it smells like pee. In the evening, it smells like pee. Just always smell like pee. It's like somebody gets on this thing, and there's always a little wet stain on the floor. And you're just sitting there trying to tell yourself it's not what it is. I don't get on elevators either, man.
I noticed that. I was going to ask you about that because every time I've ever sniffed around the elevator, it smells like urine.
Oh.
You know, at where I work at Fort Totten, sometimes I go downstairs down the green lines downstairs, and when I walk down the little track area, there's like there's always a stain on the wall, like shaped like a V, upside down V, right? And I'm just like, man, it can't be someone peeing here. Because it's like it's just like it's all out in the hope. There's no way. I think to myself, there's no way anybody's peeing. Every time I go down, it's another V stain somewhere on the same. It's a little same spot, you know. And one day I finally caught somebody there. I just couldn't believe it, man. This guy like right out in the open, bam, he's peeing right on the wall. I was like, wow, dude, the bathroom is like right there upstairs. The door's open. You can just go right in there and use the bathroom anytime you want. But you would rather stay right here. But it's amazing, man. I was say, look, we can go all day. We can go all day. I didn't even tell you
How about a crazy story?
I didn't tell you about the person with the what would you call that, man? I don't want to say gangrene. It might be might have been gangrene. I don't know. This guy, man, he didn't have no shoes on, and he's like, it just looked like his feet were just eating up. And he like the dude weighed about 400 or 500 pounds, and he's just sitting there. I seen this guy on the train like one time. He's like on the train, right? and what makes it so bad is like when I do have to catch the train, I get on a particular car to limit my walk when I get off the train, right? Cause I know if I gotta be at the other end of the platform, I usually gotta be at one end of the platform or the other, which means I'm either gonna be in the front car or the back car, right? This is before the COVID-19 thing, when you can get any car you want. So if I'm on the back car, it's usually pretty cool. No one rides the back car. No one needs to be way back there. You know, most stations, what you call escalators are in the middle. So I get on this back car. I'm just in a good mood, man. It's a nice day, blah, blah, blah. Hop on there, boom, boom, boom. As soon as the doors close, this horrendous smell comes past my nose. And I'm like, what the heck? And it's like smells like a dead person, right? But now I'm stuck. You can't get off. It's not like you're in a car where you can open the windows and let the smell out. Now you just sitting here, you just killing yourself from station to station to station. You know? I look around, there's a guy, dude's like 400 pounds. You know, he got the two seats that face each other for the senior citizens. He's taking up both of them seats. He just looks like he can't even move, and he don't have no shoes on. And it's like his feet are like eaten up, like this, just terrible, man. Like the skin was dead. So that's what it smelled like. It smelled like a dead person, right? And he just funking up. And I should have known something wrong because when I got in the car, it was like kind of like rush hour, right? It was like when a lot of people were on. And I couldn't believe it when the train pulled up. I was like, oh wow, there's no one on this car. I could just hop in here and get me a good seat, you know. And now I found out why. Everybody got off. You know, everybody got off and got in the next car. They couldn't take it, you know. So I mentioned that because one day I was up at Glenmont, right? And we did some work, whatever. And so it was time to leave. So I'm leaving. It was like late. It was like late in the evening, late at night. So the trains were going to stop. I think the trains had stopped running. So now, the same guy, so he must be homeless and he just gets on the train and he rides it. The same guy is sitting on the platform, right? Like he's sitting in the middle of the platform, but he's not on the bench. He's sitting on the ground, leaning his back onto the bench. So whoever the operator was, or somebody probably made him get off the car because he couldn't, you know, the train's going into the yard. It's not going back down the line. But before I even saw the guy, when I was walking out of the tunnel, I was like, man, what is that smell? I thought maybe the train hit something, and maybe like a dead animal was on the track or something, right? Now I look up the platform, I see this guy sitting there with his feet sticking out. I was like, oh no, it's that guy. I was like, man, we got to get out of here. That guy is dying. He's still living, but he's dying.
Dude,
Like a zombie.
You got zombie feet.
Those are the people that I got plenty more stories, but I don't want to. I want y'all to be able to eat your dinner.
Damn. All right,
But what's ridership like now?
It's getting it's actually rising. When we were first doing the stay at home thing, it was pretty low. But you know, you got a lot of essential workers, man. They got to they got to go to work, man. So you know, people have been riding. But now it's not like it was before, where it's standing room only. But it's definitely has picked up since they opened things up more.
Okay. With phase 2, you noticed from last week, it's kind of come up a little bit.
Yeah. So they're telling me that my schedule is like on one week I work 2 days, another week I work 3 days. So they're telling me that we might go back to our regular schedule about the middle of July. So everything might. Also, the train closes they start running at 9 o'clock now. So they might go back to being open a little bit later, about the middle of July. So we'll see.
Okay.
We shall see.
Yeah, we'll
but
see.
If you ride the train, man, wear your rubber gloves, wear your mask, don't touch nothing.
We appreciate these stories. I'm going to ask you some more a little bit later on offline when I see you. But hopefully we're going to get back to training pretty soon. You know, jiu-jitsu is still kind of illegal, but we're going to see what happens in the next couple of weeks to make it legal. And when it does, we're looking forward to having you come back at 8 o'clock and teaching some jiu-jitsu classes.
Let's do it.
So, but right now it looks like we're out of time. I really do appreciate you, Coach Jeff, coming on and sharing some stories about jiu-jitsu and about your metro.
Hey, let me say what's up to some people.
Oh yeah, okay.
Remember Brown Belt Charlie? He's hanging out. He looks like he's watching. Hopefully he sees us.
Oh, wow. What's up, Charlie? I was just thinking about Charlie this morning. I never get a chance to make that guy pass out with my chokes.
Of course, Hyro, what's up? Kevin, the Mongoose, he's up in here. Coach Orion. Jason Stoyinski says, what's up? Yeah, a bunch of people.
Nobody ride the match.
Blast from the past. I miss Mongoose.
Pete Sanchez says, what's up? All right, of course, Allegra's up in there. VJ, all our friends. And yeah.
My man VJ, y'all better watch out for VJ. VJ coming for your title, Lewis.
Yeah. I like it. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to come in the morning.
Hey, serious.
Hey, oh, it's a baby. Okay, make it.
Hold on. Perfect. What's up, baby?
Hey.
Look at them big cheeks. He's going to be ultra heavy.
We're hoping. Garcia, I got to get her on the bomba early.
Oh, good girl. Man.
But I appreciate y'all. I miss training with everybody, and hopefully we're gonna get back to it. Remember, we're open. We got classes going on: Muay Thai, some intro Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, some intro Muay Thai classes, some outdoor classes beginning next week. Let's do one more week and see where we stand, and try to get some people paired up together. So, hope to see y'all at the school.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Coach Jeff. Thank you, Coach Lewis.
Thank you.
Signing off.
Everybody go train.
Go train.
Go train.